Fortnite Chapter 6's end of it just feels really wrong. Some people are worried that this event may not be what we thought, and in general, everything that we've gotten for the build-up so far just feels a little bit off. Alright guys, so today we finally got what might be, and a lot of people are calling, our first real teaser for the Chapter 6 end event, and honestly, it's really not what we expected at all. Now, we've been waiting for a long time for something official in terms of teasing for this new event that is going to end Chapter 6. And instead of a trailer or a cinematic or anything like that, we get this weird kind of crossover video featuring Kang and Kodos from The Simpsons. It's technically the first actual video teaser, and right now it's the biggest thing hinting towards the event. And because we've been expecting this event to be very storyline driven and Fortnite original heavy, it has a lot of people really concerned and just feels really weird. But the way they've rolled this out, the timing, the style of the teasers, the lack of other teasers as well, has the entire community super confused. But today we're going to go through everything that has changed in game, what exactly is being teased, and why so many people feel like they were tricked or even underwhelmed by the build up to this event, and why I still think this could be a really good Fortnite original storyline driven live event. And Fortnite may just be doing something a little bit different with this event because it may be one of the biggest ones we've ever seen. So as you guys know, for about a week now, we've been following this weird tree in the top left corner of the map. And if you're wondering where it is, it's just to the left of Creepy Camps, just up on this little raised platform of the ground a little bit. And now it is fully built. Stage 4 of the treehouse is live now. And now there's more than just a weird looking tree here. There's actual purple energy like glowing around it, both inside and outside of the treehouse. And we know that there's a lot of symbolism around purple energy in Fortnite, pointing towards the last reality, the cube, etc. There's also some sparkles and kind of an electrical buzzing sound when you get close, which feels like something might be charging up. It also could just be the TV static that I'm hearing, but this looks and sounds like the Dark Presence is actively using maybe a 0-point shard or something like that, or maybe something is happening within the spirit realm that's going to show that this treehouse, the Simpsons universe, is all connected to the spirit realm and the Dark Presence in some way. Additionally, OXR has officially deployed new equipment right next to the tree. You know, some terminals, boxes, and just surveillance style gear now around the base. And there's even a countdown timer projected in red, which points to a November 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern time for the event. That's when it is supposedly going to happen, at least right now. That's what the timer says. Now, something that a lot of people noticed and that made people really wonder, like, or Fortnite is kind of acting like they don't want many people to know about it, is that the beam for this event is surprisingly small and hard to notice. It's not even visible from the battle bus, and it only shows up when you're really close to the location, and it disappears quickly if you move too far in. Now, people have pointed out that the timer and setup are way less noticeable than past events, like smaller than the pumpkins that are on the map in that area, smaller than the trees, and you're really not able to see it just because of everything that is around there by Creepy Camps. Additionally, there's no lobby timer at all, which is something we usually get during these kind of events, and especially for, you know, an event that's ending this chapter, a chapter-ending event, I feel like they would want everybody to know about this, which just makes it even weirder. There's no UI countdown on the main screen, there's no event playlist or official event tab has not shown up yet, and this just adds to why the community feels like this buildup is incomplete or poorly handled, and just kind of goes to show, like, why does Fortnite not want people to know about this? Now, in terms of the actual event itself, the only really teaser we got was The Simpsons related. Now, Fortnite just posted a crossover teaser on social media. It's kind of like a cartoon cutscene where Kang and Kodos are threatening Fortnite characters. I believe that is Jonesy and Hope based on their outfits, and they're warning people to tune in on November 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern time in the game. That time lines up exactly with the in-game countdown right now, so it's clearly meant to be for the event. But here's the problem. This teaser is only promoting the Simpsons collab, not the actual event itself. The tweet and art are full Simpsons branding. There's no mention of, you know, what the event could be called, you know, the Chapter 6 finale, the fact that we're leaving this map, who the Dark Presence is, or anything like that. Not anything story related is going on in this teaser right here. And a lot of people have been speculating, you know, maybe this is part of the event. Maybe, you know, this is the beginning part, or maybe it's the end or something like that. But still, it's just really weird. It's really confusing because the community has been expecting a full-blown cinematic story-driven end event, especially with all the leaks that have been going around. People were expecting some type of key art, maybe official cinematic trailers, and maybe even map-wide changes by now for the event, but instead all we're getting are real-world Simpsons posters and this short cartoon video. It's very clear that this is a teaser towards the event because they say 11 a.m. for us to tune in and everything like that. And this is also some type of animation that I could easily see be put as a cutscene inside of the event. But still, with everybody expecting and all these leakers saying that it's going to be a big story-driven live event, it's something that all of the lore fans have been hoping for a long time. It does make people second guess their hype. Now, the only real teaser we've seen for the event itself that is just Fortnite original related is that TV inside the treehouse with the technical difficulties screen that also shows a shadowy figure, which a lot of people think is our first look at the dark presence. That plus the purple glow is all we've got really directly pointing to anything story related, which is really weird. One thing I am really concerned about personally that I actually haven't seen anybody bring up so far is the fact that, what if right here what we're looking at is the spirit realm? Like, what if Fortnite takes something that is storyline related and turns it into, a Simpsons like promotion or something like that? We've been talking about the spirit realm for such a long time. We've seen short images of it with Daigo, and if they end up just turning it into a like Simpsons realm or something like that, I think that would be really disappointing. And frankly, I think that would actually be the death of Fortnite lore. I would be very, very disappointed if that's what they end up doing. And based on how it looks right here, this does possibly look like, a kind of barren area. So who knows? Now, another thing throwing a lot of people off is the weird timing of this whole thing. This live event is scheduled for 11 a.m. ET, like I said, and the new season starts 6 hours later at 5 p.m. Eastern time. That is a huge gap, of course, but it's not usually how Fortnite does events. Usually the event happens and the season does take, a while to come out. Like, that gap itself isn't anything weird, but it's weird the timing of it is so early on in the day. Normally an event would happen around 2 p.m. and then we'd get the event around, the middle of the night the next day or something like that. All in all, you guys, a lot of the frustration in terms of the community and the confusion is just coming from how the marketing has been handled for this event. I've heard a lot of people say that this is the worst event buildup that Fortnite has ever done. The countdown timer was added just 5 days before the event, and it's not even properly visible until you get close. And if you haven't been paying attention to anything, you're not even going to know where this is on the map because there's no beam or anything like that. But to be fair, you guys, there could be a reason that this is happening. Now, it actually does make sense that Fortnite is promoting the collab and new season more than the event itself. To the majority of casual players, that's what brings them in, is a new huge IP crossover like The Simpsons. That's going to get more attention than a story event most players probably won't even watch or really know what is going on in it, past, what they're seeing on screen. But for story-driven players and longtime fans, especially you guys who watch these videos, it feels off. Like, Epic is kind of brushing the storyline under the rug, and it just creates a sense of awkwardness overall. It makes the event kind of feel like an afterthought to the marketing of The Simpsons season, which is what a lot of players are reacting to online and getting upset about. There has also been a ton of backlash from the community in general. People are just frustrated. Leakers have been saying the event is 500 plus megabytes with a playlist already in the files, yet Epic is saying nothing in terms of Fortnite original stuff. There's a growing feeling that Epic is either intentionally hiding everything or just not prioritizing this event at all. Now, in terms of how I feel about it, guys, it definitely is weird. There's no doubt about that, but this could be intentional. We definitely do usually get a lot more buildup, and even for smaller mini events, for the Doom event, for even the Death Star Sabotage, I feel like we got more promotion. We got literal trailers for those events, and so far we haven't gotten anything. Of course, there is still, 4 days until this new event, so they could come out with something, but even then, it's just really not going to be enough time for it to reach a lot of people. But with that being said, you guys, I do think it's very possible Fortnite is doing all of this intentionally to avoid spoiling the actual story or to kind of hide everything for a big surprise in the event. The fact that no major leaker has posted anything big about this event is honestly really impressive and very telling of what could possibly be going on here. And maybe that's the point. If it is really as big and important as it's being hyped up to be, keeping it under wraps would be a huge win for Fortnite. I also think it's very important, you guys, not to jump the gun and start bashing Epic Games just yet. People need to remember we weren't even supposed to know that this event was happening right now. Well, I mean, right now we do because there's a timer, but yesterday and things like that, we weren't even supposed to know this was going on. Of course, it was leaked. The Simpsons marketing, of course, might just be a smokescreen or something like that, or a side distraction to keep people from digging too deep into the actual event so it doesn't get leaked. And of course, like I said earlier, all of that Simpsons stuff could possibly be connected to the event in some way. Of course, we're also only expecting the Simpsons to have a small decorative kind of role in this event, so I wouldn't expect it to be anything too big. quick. But either way, this event is definitely shaping up to be very different, but that doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be disappointing. But there's no doubt that the marketing has been very weird. So yeah, you guys, everything is still super up in the air right now. The new effects around the tree, the teaser video, the in-game timer, it's all starting to build, but not in the way that we're used to. If you guys missed it, go check out my last video where I talked about people who were already worried about this event before we even got any teasers. It'll give you even more context for what's going on. Also, check out my breakdown of the OG Fortnitemares update and the neglect that's been going on over there. If you don't know, OG Fortnitemares actually came out like 2 days ago and nobody knew about it. So if you want to see a deep dive on that, go watch that. But do you guys think that this event is a little bit overhyped? Do you think it's going to be disappointing? Let me know. Drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PROZEROYT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.